I, as long as I can remember as a little girl, I wanted to have a career. I wanted to show everybody that I was strong, I was capable, and I could do it all. Nothing could hold me back. And so I did. That's, and I remember early on in my career, my boss pulled me aside and said to me, Debbie, if you really want to have a successful career, you need to work at least 50 hours a week. Yeah, exactly. And I thought, at the time, I thought, wow, like I'm raising four girls too. But I thought, wow. And then I decided I'm a high achieving woman. I'm going to do better than 50 hours a week. I'm going to work 60 hours a week. And I did. Like for over 35 years, I worked at least 60 hours every week. Sometimes I worked as many as 80, but rarely did I go below 50. And my computer was like an attachment to me. I never went anywhere without it, even on vacation. And that's how I lived my life until I got to this point where my marriage started to crumble. I wasn't tending to my marriage at all. I was working my hours, looking after the career, looking after the kids, and there was no time left for anything else. And after we separated, and I had just this like brief moment to think about things a little bit after the dust settled, I realized I had no idea who I was. I was a mother, I was a worker. But if you would have asked me back then, Noelle, who is Debbie and what is Debbie passionate about?
You wouldn't
I had
know.
no idea. No idea who I was.
And I mean, just to stop there for a moment, because I think that's it's such a profound thing to say, but also to feel that way. And I think we've all been in places where we've had to kind of pause and think about our life and think about where we are and who we are in it. How did that feel? Did you know that was a turning point in the moment, or was it like, how did that land for you?
I felt horrible. I felt so empty, and disconnected. Here I am doing all this stuff, and yet I have no idea who I was. And I had set out on a journey to make some changes to my life. And when I started that journey, I wanted to maybe do some kind of an entrepreneurial venture. But every single time it kept leading back to the same thing. I had no passion. Like, to be in this room with, I don't know, 100 other people who are all excited about, whatever they're doing, whether it's coffee or teaching people something. I'm like, I don't want to do like I did pension work. Like I don't want to do retirement planning that's not what I'm passionate about. And so every turn that I took looking for something other than just my corporate job took me to this place that I had no idea who I was and it's like to feel like you have no passion. That's pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so this is post divorce. And you were kind of like, did you keep, I mean, I'm assuming you had a lengthy career. So you went on for how long until you made a choice to kind of make a shift?
Yeah. So that whole journey led me to one thing, just kind of sometimes the universe puts things in front of us at the right time. And a couple of the seminars that I went to, they had speakers who were speaking about health and not business. And I realized at one of these sessions that I was addicted to sugar. And I wanted to break that sugar addiction because my health was starting to decline now. Like I went to the doctor for just a routine checkup, and it was like I was severely anemic. And the doctor was shocked that I didn't know or feel anything. And I just said, well, I'm always burning the candle at both ends. Of course I'm tired. Why wouldn't I be tired? And I also was having really bad tension headaches to the point that I actually ended up addicted to Tylenol with codeine. And that's a whole other story on its own. But this is when I found food as medicine, because I decided to stop searching for what else I could do and start looking after me. And that's where my energy came back online. That's where I changed the trajectory of my health, and I found my passion, which was amazing. So I stopped pushing through trying to find something and just sat back and decided I was going to work on me. And that's when the magic happened.